Hey guys, this is a quick update by request on the dwarf tomato project. It's quite windy out here today, so I hope that it's not coming out on the camera. They're all doing really well. I'm thoroughly impressed with every one of them, which is kind of amazing because when you're doing so many different varieties, I've got 25 varieties. When you're doing so many, you're going to have challenges. You'll have successes and you'll have failures. Now, none of the failures have shown up yet, but it's just bound to happen because not every variety is going to like your growing zone. They're not going to like, your area. They're not going to like your growing methods. And so you're not going to hit a home run every time. But so far, they're all doing exceptionally well. A couple of them are starting to show a couple signs of a little bit of stress just because the last week it's been cold. It's been down in the low 40s at night and only got, like today, it only got up to 52 degrees, which, I mean, for almost the middle of June, that's just unheard of. So they're getting a little bit of challenge, but once it warms back up, it should be just fine. We did get some rain, so we had cold and rain, and that's just an invite. But so far, no, they're doing incredibly well. Let me show you. Let me just try to do a pan here. The first one I think that I showed, which is the Rosella Purple, that one is still far and above the tallest so far of them, and it seems to be winning out. It's like 2.5 feet and doing well. All of them so far have got, all of them have budded out and got flowers, and of the 25, believe it or not, 21 of them have fruit on them. So I'm really encouraged by that. And before the rain, I knew it was going to rain. So before the rain came, I went and put a side dressing of compost in the top of each bucket. And that should perk them back up. Now, this is their first feeding. I put a little bit of compost in the mix when I first planted these 4 weeks ago. So they've only been in here for 4 weeks. And then this is their very first feeding. And they'll get compost every month regularly, and that's all they're going to get. I don't fertilize my plants, and so they should do just fine being in buckets like this with just some compost. But so far they're all doing incredibly well, and some of them of course have more fruit than others. But the funny thing about them is that almost all of them have rugose leaves, which I mean that just floors me. They've got that curly, crinkly, thick stem, and the leaves are thick and curly, and the stems are really thick. So, which I guess the more I researched it, that is indicative of all the dwarfs. And so, I think we're up to like 92 on the dwarfs. I think the last time I counted, it's around 90, and so this is 25 of them, and I'll of course save seeds on all of them and make them available on my website, and then I will grow the top few that did the best and grow them again, and then I'll probably do another 25 next year. But so far all of these are doing incredibly well, and I am pleased with every one of them so far. Now, I did have a few people ask me, how do I keep them organized? How do I know what is in each bucket? And if you look at the top of each stake, there's a number. And that number corresponds to a piece of paper that I have that tells me what is in each bucket. Now, I don't write the name of the variety on the stake because I reuse those stakes every year. And so if I wrote it on there, then I would be kind of hamstrung and have to use that stake for that variety every time. So that's why I do that. Like you'll see, like number 1 is way down in that corner, and then number 2, and it goes across to 8. I've got 3 rows of 8. Then in the very front right here is number 25, and so that's how I know. Like now down here, you'll see that one down there that's really producing heavily. Let me look in here. That is the Dwarf Wild Spud Leaf. And you'll notice it's got quite a bit of fruit on there. It's got some good sized fruit too, which that seems to be the heaviest producer so far. And then number 4 over here is the next one that's producing really well. And you'll notice the good sized fruit on that. That is the Dwarf Lemon Ice. And but all of them, well, almost all of them have fruit on them. But anyways, that's how I keep them organized, just by the number on the stake. And then I have a piece of paper at this next to the garden here, and I can tell you just by looking at that paper what is exactly is in each bucket. So that is the update so far on the dwarf tomato project, and I really appreciate the interest and people following along just to watch what's going on. So I'll try to keep you guys updated weekly on how these are doing. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you later.